Okay. Hi guys, and welcome to our first podcast of the CEO journey. Today you're joined by myself, Joe Linsky, and my co-host Tom Halstead. This podcast, Tom's just going to talk a little bit about just why we're doing this podcast.
Thank you, Joe, for introducing me. I'm the co-host of this podcast, the CEO journey, and basically we're starting this channel to inspire aspiring entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs who are too scared or don't know whether they want to take the plunge into entrepreneurship. Also to instill lots of motivation in people, and hopefully, people watching this can gain a lot of insightful information and knowledge. And then second of all, to keep it real, we're also doing it for ourselves as well. We're both entrepreneurs. We're co-founders of a business that we're currently trying to launch at the moment, and we're really wanting to build a personal brand, and also by bringing on exciting guests to the channel, whether they be at a stage similar to us or further along the journey, more successful, then we also look to gain a lot of knowledge and insight from them. So it's a win-win for us, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Hopefully we provide you with a lot of useful information that you can take, and we're just here to inspire and motivate, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. And I think just to kind of add to that, I think a lot of kind of podcasts and I see a lot on just TikTok, it's kind of people who have already started their entrepreneurial journey and have been really successful. So like personally, just on TikTok, I see people who say they've made £1 million on Amazon and you could do the same thing, etc. And obviously there's a podcast by Stephen from Dragon's Den, and it's really helpful. But we're just trying to do something different in the way we're creating the podcast, where, me and Tom are very young entrepreneurs. We're at the start of our journeys, and we're just trying to offer you a kind of really new and different viewpoint that you don't hear elsewhere.
And not only are we bringing on guests to interview, but we're also going to be documenting our journeys and keeping it as pure and real as possible, and being completely transparent, because as Joe said, a lot of content out there only shows you the successful aspects. There's not really any content that is from the ground up, so actually live building a business, and for you guys to see that. And we're going to keep it as transparent as possible, show you the ups and downs, and show you what it's like trying to build a successful startup. By keeping it raw and real and completely pure, hopefully that is far more valuable. And I don't think there's any other content out there on the platform or on any platforms at the moment which actually documents to young entrepreneurs building a startup that's hopefully going to gain legs and go places, and that's really what we're trying to do at the moment. So we're going to be completely transparent.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks, Tom. And just kind of to introduce just what we're talking about this episode, we're just going to be talking to Tom and just asking him some questions just about his entrepreneurial journey. In the next episode, Tom will be asking very similar questions to me, and it's basically just to kind of allow you to get to know us. And then obviously after that, we're going to different points. We'll interview different people, as Tom has said, and we'll go into a bit more detail. But these first kind of few episodes are just kind of introducing ourselves. And hopefully it'll be really helpful for you just to hear our entrepreneurial journeys, even though just at the start, and as I said, not kind of already very successful. So Tom, I guess the first question for you is if you could just talk.
Sorry, Joe, can I just make a quick disclaimer?
Yeah.
Sorry for the video quality and audio, etc. We've actually purchased some mics for this, so hopefully the audio is all right. But we're just recording this on Zoom, and we're both broke uni students, so we don't have much money to play with, and this is the best we can do at the moment. But then hopefully, if this starts getting traction, then we'll look to invest into proper camera quality, video quality, etc., and maybe build out a team around this. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer. Also, I have got a lazy eye in my right eye, so if it looks like that I'm not looking at the camera, then I really am. But yeah, it just won't appear like that. So allow that, and yeah, if you just want me, I'm not looking at the camera properly because I've got a lazy eye.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Yeah, so just to get back into the actual podcast. So, Tom, if you could just talk us through, I guess, your just entrepreneurial journey so far. Obviously, I guess just kind of where you started, how you first developed that kind of entrepreneurial, I guess a lot of people call it entrepreneurial flair, and just kind of when that started, and just as I said, just your journey up to this point.
So yeah, I guess my entrepreneurial journey, like a lot of people who are in the trenches right now with it, started at a young age. So I would really say that my entrepreneurial journey started at the age of probably about 13, 14. I was always so interested in business. I always had the drive from such a young age to one day be my own boss and to be running something and trying to build something that's going to hold legacy for the future. And it started off, me taking quite a big interest into the stock market. So at 14 years old, currency market, not stock market, currency market, but about 14 years old, 15 years old, I started a paper trading account, and I was basically investing fake money into currency pairs. And, I was really mesmerized about what you can do with a small amount of capital and turn it into something big. And I was constantly looking at business pages, Bloomberg articles, trying to get up to date on all the markets, and I just found it so fascinating. And then it came to after GCSEs, where I'd been paper trading for quite a while, and showing my parents this is what I'm doing, and they were a bit like, oh, this is a bit abnormal. We haven't really seen this. I actually asked them as a present for doing my GCSEs if I could actually set up a small little trading account, and I had £100 saved up at the time, and I basically just put that into a trading account and started making really small profits. I used to wake up every single day at 5 a.m. to trade these markets, and I was just so interested in it and intrigued. And I was only making 20p profit on some trades, but and I was losing quite a bit as well. But I think I learned a lot about grit, determination, and willpower. Being able to show up early, get out of bed and do something productive, and do something where you're gaining a lot of knowledge which can be applied for future uses. I think it's really strong. And then after that, I sort of did a bit of other stuff. I wanted to start another business. I'd actually lost all my trading money, which wasn't great, but I learned the lesson of failure from that. And I actually went into something else. So I looked at creating a small little marketing agency, focusing on social media advertisements. I managed to get one client for that, and I charged I think it was about £200 a month, and I was basically running their social media advertisements. And so that was a bit of money. I couldn't actually scale that, and I took that business into uni. I tried to scale it. I tried to get new clients, but I kept on getting rejected, mainly because of my age. I'm 19 years old currently. I was doing this when I was 17 and continuing to do it right until I came to uni and met Joe. There was a lot of entrepreneurial flair at a young age, and I learned a lot of lessons. I learned how to handle rejection. I learned selling skills. I learned marketing, and I learned the key. I don't know how you say it, but the key skill of taking action. And it's all right for people to have these ideas and have them in their head and plan them, but until you take pure action, then you're not going to see any reward. And if it fails, it fails, but at least you won't have any regrets. So yeah, that was my entrepreneurial journey at a young age. And then obviously came to uni. Joe and I are both we both go to the University of Bath, first of all. I study economics, Joe studies business, but we both joined the Entrepreneurship Society. We ended up meeting each other there, and we sort of had this idea. Joe had been working on it a bit in his summer, and we partnered on it, and now we're co-founders of this, and we're basically trying to take it and launch it into a successful startup. So yeah, my entrepreneurial journey started roughly about 14, 15 years old, which is quite young. But yeah, that's where I gained my flair, I guess.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Yeah, that was really helpful, and I'm sure the listeners kind of find it really helpful. It was just interesting that you started kind of so early on that entrepreneurial journey. So I guess the next question I've got for you is just, you discussed a lot about the lessons you learned, for example, failure and everything, but could you kind of select just the biggest lesson that you've learned so far? Obviously, we're at the almost just the start of our entrepreneurial journey, but just the biggest lesson that you've learned so far in your entrepreneurial journey that would be helpful for listeners just to hear.
So probably I'd say I have two lessons. One I've touched on already, which is the ability to take action, and taking action quickly, because if you procrastinate things, you tend not to do them. The drive to take action is very key. Also, I would also say probably, that I guess that ties into living with no regrets. I've been through some experiences in my past that have taught me that. For example, I lost my dad about a year and a half ago, right before I was doing my A-levels, and it was a very sudden death, and that really taught me not to take advantage of things and don't take anything for granted. Live life with no regrets. If you're wanting to do something, go ahead and do it, and don't think twice about it. I'd probably say living with no regrets, and that ties into entrepreneurship. So taking action, living with no regrets, and I'd say I've got another one, which is enjoying the journey. Joe and I are at our infant stages of entrepreneurship. We're raising funding for our business at the moment. We're designing it, and we're trying to build out a big platform for the idea we've got. But just enjoying the journey, you can get too tied in, sucked into the end goal, and it's always really good to have that end goal in mind and to know where you want to be in how many years. But you've got to enjoy all the hard work and all the graft that goes into it, because if you don't enjoy that and you don't have the passion for that, then you're really not going to reach that end target. So I'd say enjoying the process and enjoying the journey is my third and final lesson that I've learned.
Yeah, Tom, that's really helpful. I think we both realised we're at the start of this podcast as well, because your phone went off and I've just had to turn mine off as well. Yeah, I guess, we've only got a few more questions, but what would your kind of top tip or just top kind of bit of advice be for people listening, kind of people either who are already entrepreneurs and have set up maybe one or two businesses, or people who know they have that mindset of entrepreneurs, but are kind of, I guess I would put it, questioning entrepreneurs, kind of aren't ready to take that risk, maybe haven't thought of ideas yet? What would your kind of, I guess, just top piece of advice be just for people listening?
Okay, so obviously to take action, but also to be around like-minded people, I guess. So, for example, I met Joe, and we're both like-minded people, and we both have the same goals, and we share the same vision, and that's why we've made such a great partnership. At the start of our journeys. So yeah, I would say be around like-minded people, and entrepreneurship can be a very lonely journey. There's times when you have to sacrifice things to be able to, grow your idea, and sharing that journey with someone who is like-minded and someone who is driven and motivated and shares the same vision as you is just far more rewarding, and also can take or make it less intense, the loneliness aspect of being an entrepreneur and trying to build a business.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And I guess just final question for you is, if you could just talk through, I guess not, obviously not in great detail, but kind of just where you see yourself in 3 years. Are you working on one business, three businesses? Have you got a 9 to 5? I guess just if we could just understand a bit about what your vision is just for the next, I guess, just couple of years.
Okay, well, hopefully not a 9 to 5. But
we don't like that, do we?
no, I'm not into that at all. I don't really like being bossed about, I can't lie. I would say, where do I see myself in 3 years? So obviously we've got Foodbox at the moment, which we're both co-founders of, and I really want that. So basically, just a bit of background on Foodbox. At the most basic form, it's a meal kit platform that we're trying to grow. And grow and build. So I would say, hopefully be the number one meal kit platform out there, and to have that fully launched and running and be a profitable business. And then second of all, we've also plunged into another project that was actually came about through running Foodbox. We basically had a message from a guy who's very experienced in this space, in the entrepreneurial space, who's ran successful businesses and very successful, and he was like, can we have a meeting? So we hopped on this meeting, basically ran through our pitch deck through Foodbox, and then he was like, well, I've got this other opportunity for you. We can't disclose much about this project because there's 2 other working partners, so things can get quite sticky when it comes to that, so we're not going to disclose much about that at all. But obviously we've got this other project, and I really see the the long-term gain in this, and I hope that we can also build that out to be a very successful business in the next 3 years, profitable, and hopefully we've got a great team around us. So I really hope that these businesses that we're running, or these projects that we're doing, take off in the next 3 years, and hopefully they're at that stage of being successful, or just about there. So I think we've got big things coming for the next 3 years, and hopefully our vision and our hard work and graft pay off.
Yeah, no, Tom, that's been really helpful. Thank you very much for obviously sharing all of that. Obviously, really helpful, hopefully for myself, it was really helpful, but also hopefully for all the viewers. So thank you. Guys, that is the end of this first podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. Next episode, as I said at the start, will be just Tom will basically be asking very similar questions to me, and just, I guess, learn more just about my entrepreneurial journey. You've heard Tom's, and hopefully, as I said,
if you like this sort of content, please drop us a subscribe. We'd really like it. It'll really help us. Give it a like, share it to someone who might benefit from it. We'll also plug our socials down there for our business and our personal ones. So, you know, if you've got any questions or anything, then, you know, please message us. We'll respond quickly and help anyone out. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. And as Joe said, we'll be back with the next episode very soon, which will be me asking Joe similar questions and you basically understanding his background and story.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.